Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to the Ipswich Buses Matchday Ticket Fans React full-time show. I am your host, Martin the Governor Lambert, and Ipswich Town sadly could not hold on to a lead. They have lost 2-1 to Accrington Stanley. This is your chance to have your say. There'll be a live link. I've posted it already, so if you've got something to say, smash the link, get involved. You don't need a webcam. You just need a microphone. If you haven't got a webcam but a microphone, we can make it work. As we did for the pre-game show with Coxie not being visible. You will do, of course, have our live chat function. So feel free to use the opinion you've got in the live chat. I'll try and get as many on the screen. If you want it on the screen guaranteed, a super sticker will ensure it gets shown on the screen. I will bring in now our contributors, Coxie and Milktray Man Ben Adams, who's on mute at the moment. But we've got Mike D, Men Against Boys, dominated by Giants, Cheltenham 2.0, Monkey Man, really unbelievable, Cook out, Mike the Fisherman, utter tripe of the highest order, Donny, paper over the cracks, no fucking plan B. Anderson, dreadful second half, subs all wrong and too late, embarrassing, but that's the way to play against us. Play high, making us kick long. Monk Fisherman, it's okay. Morsey will solve our problems. Foundation shot to bits, I'd say, after that shit show. Andrew Harrison, same old Ipswich, I'm afraid. Too easy to play against, says Mike D. Josh Russell, where's the Cook fans now? Well, Matt Phillips did say Tuesday night, where's the Cook haters now? And, well, Josh is asking the question, where's the Cook supporters now? This is the 10th game of the league campaign. Many fans said they would look at it after 10 games and only 10 games. Ipswich Town currently sit 19th, played 10, won 2, drawn 4, lost 4, 4-19 against 18, 10 points. Paul Cook doesn't like you talking about last season's record, so he has won 2 games in 10. Coxie, welcome back. What do you make of it?
I think Leando's he summed it up very well. It was the first half wasn't brilliant, but we got ahead, but the second half, we didn't turn up again. It's are we again turned into a one half team? But yeah, and it's fair comment by Ando. There was the subs were too late. It didn't work second half. How dare we dream of a run of of a few wins or not losing?
Two steps forward, 3 steps back. Ben.
I asked a question at the beginning of this game. Is it today, the 10th game, we're going to find out whether Tuesday was a corner turn or a blip? Well, now we have our answer. It was a blip. And now a same ratio. I think, did it last season? Was it 4 games?
Yes, it was 4,
so
yes.
Right now, he's on the exact same win ratio as last season. That's over 2 seasons and 2 squads. Now, we have everyone there. We have Morsey there. We've got Selena there. We've got Bonfiring. Every piece of the puzzle, the injuries and the not being able to play because you're banned, it's all on the pitch. So what's it down to? We're not waiting for anyone to come back anymore. We're not waiting for anything. It's all there. And we've played 10 games. We've won 20% of them. That's worrying.
Lambert in says fix the blues. No, you're absolutely right. It is worrying. Let me just put the lights on there. Let me illuminate the screen for myself so you can see me. David Prince, poor team, poor. Teams have been hammering them, disappointed again. Brandon, our fans are far too emotional. Reading these comments are ridiculous. The same people were saying Cook's going to win the league to sack him within 4 days. I'm not sure who you're talking about there, because that man there said the season was over a couple of weeks ago, yet to be proved wrong or right. That I'm not sure about Coxey. Myself, I would have sacked him after Bolton, and I've maintained that. And last week I said, look, I may have been wrong. Maybe a corner has been turned, a foundation piece has been laid. But again today, and I want to read you something, and that I've written, because I've started writing this week's article. And I just want to read it to you, and maybe get your thoughts and get the thoughts from the chat and those that want to come on. This may or may not stay in the article, but it says, regardless of your position on the manager, we do have a problem when it comes to in-game adjustments. Again, on Saturday, despite leading at half-time, it was the opposition that made the changes needed to grab all 3 points. And just like Bolton, or MK Dons, or Cheltenham, when it came to answer the bell, Cook and his bench were left wanting, left searching for answers, and in the end, the referee blew his whistle and counted us out. What do you make of that, Ben?
Unfortunately, I think that's quite correct, and I think you're right to focus on in-game management. We don't change. Like what he bought on Edwards for Selena, that's a like-for-like change. So you've given what you said. We're talking about the game. You've got this. That's nothing for them to think about. There's no changing of shape. There's no nothing. I don't know. I just am I thinking, is Cook a manager who can make an in-game change and it be successful? Well, how many games has he had this now? 31, 32? I would say no, not at all. I'm not even on the Cook out thing anymore. I'm just thinking, I'm actually so disappointed. I don't really know what I think at the moment, because that first half, I thought, although we weren't fantastic, we were the better team. And yet again, we have lost through going ahead first. That's happening a hell of a lot. Yeah. What is happening in that dressing room at half time?
Well, nothing. That's the issue,
What's
isn't
happening?
it? Nothing. And then as Coxey, bring you into it, as Matthew, I'm not a great fan of the radio commentary team, but as Matthew said, Norwood's coming on 10 minutes too late. So even when he does make the changes, they deliberate and they ponder and they think so long that it's too late. Alex Matthew himself said, Coxey, if I remember correctly, about 10 minutes too late. What do you make?
Yeah, he did say them exact words. Him and Brenner must have been better, though. I didn't get a WhatsApp message of you saying, bloody Brenner, bloody Matthew.
I was working.
I was working. You were like, yeah, but yeah, he was right. Why bring? I mean, we did say it last week. We went 2 strikers on, and we sort of salvaged the game, but it didn't work today. Norwood should have been on long before then. No matter what people's opinions are of Mr. Norwood, but Matthew nailed it there.
Ben Moore, been out of the game far too long. He looks lost and clueless at times this season already. Who is out there for us? We do change it. Ryan Senior, our tactics, our arrogance, just think our players are better than every team in the league, so should beat all without a plan. Roy Clark, how do you play so well on Tuesday and so crap today? Never get anywhere playing like that. That's what makes today so disappointing. Yeah. Ashley Bell, welcome in, Ashley. Surely time to move Cook on. I don't know why it's not worked, but it hasn't. I'd much rather be positive and say stick with it. But other than smashing bottom of the league, he's shown nothing.
Who won today, by the way?
Against MK Dons, they did. Yes, Blue Soap. I take full responsibility. I'd start looking at the league table again. Chris McBain. I felt like a Lambert side in the second half.
True.
Cook is coming across as completely tactically inept. George Nunn. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Cook has got this team wrong. Not the one on the pitch. The one sat next to him. Yeah. Somebody did message me this. They said, all the colours to make a rainbow, and he's mixing them together to make brown. Curtis, you were at the game. Yatesy.
Hey, how you feeling, man? You feeling better? Probably not now.
Listen, I didn't have a voice before it, but I certainly have a fucking voice now. Jesus. That was the only positive that's coming out of that result today is the fact that I'm about 2 minutes away from home. So that was embarrassing. That was absolutely embarrassing. Like we had one clear-cut chance in that game, and we finished it. People around me were saying that maybe a draw would have been a fair result. I don't think so. I think Aki got what they wanted. I think they got 3 points, and I think they fully deserved it. I thought Cook's substitutions are actually piss poor. I said it about 60 minutes. I said, no, this game is crying out for 2 up front. Norwood, come on. and then he brought him on 10 minutes to go.
He doesn't do two up front. He doesn't
that's
do
the
it.
thing, yeah.
He won't. And the opposition. And the
What we
opposition
said.
know it.
Curtis, hopefully, come back to us.
He's never going to. You're dead right, Ben. He's never going to do two up front. He's just got.
But he did do. But 10 minutes too late.
I agree, but the opposition know that you know when people got banned because someone put a team lineup on TWTD, wherever it was, an hour before a game. Well, isn't Paul Cook doing that by proxy? Because if you never change your formation, you're basically advertising to every single team you play against, this is going to be our shape and we're never going to change it unless it's 83 minutes and we're losing. Every team already knows how to prepare for us. I'd love us to start with a 4-4-2 and the team think, holy Christ, we didn't expect that. We thought I was going to do is bloody diamond Christmas tree thing. Change it up a bit, man, because it's not working. And it's not as if, we're all desperate to win. We want Cook to do well. If Cook does well, the players do well. If the players do well, Ipswich do well. But it's just, there's nothing left to hang your hat on. Oh, we haven't got Morsey in yet, and he's going to really solidify things. Selena's going to be that one to give the quality. All these things that we've been hanging our hat on, we've just got to wait till that happens. We've just got to wait till that happens. We've just got to wait till that happens. Well, it's all there now, and we're still losing. So who's it down to?
Exactly. I'll bring in Lee Ando. Who is it down to, Lee?
No, today was down to tactics, wasn't it?
Has been
you got
every
a
single
team.
Week.
Well, this week definitely, because you've got a team that can knock the ball from back to front all the time, and we play one up front. If you're going to play against that sort of team, you've got to press them high like they did to us. If you press them high, they haven't got time to play the ball in. It's just absolute bloody shocking. We should have had two up front to stop that long before we did. And then we made the substitutions and it didn't work. And then we had Harper going back to centre midfield when 2 weeks ago Cook said, well, he's not really that type of player. We need to play him further up the pitch. So we started playing him further up the pitch and we didn't do it. So it's not, but I don't think it's really the personnel. You've got to look at the shape. You've got to put pressure on their back four to stop them from launching 40, 50-yard balls into our box. And that's the thing for me today. I don't think that happened. And just one quick thing on bloody the commentary. If Brenner turns around and says, "Oh, we helped out one of his colleagues," they're not colleagues; they're bloody teammates. Infuriates me. That does when he calls them colleagues. They've been teammates for years.
Don't start me on the commentary team. Don't start me on the commentary team. Please don't.
You've been quite calm on that today, Gov.
When they said maybe we better not bother coming because we lose every week, I thought, all right, lads, sounds good to me. That's just me. That journalist who cooked burn on Tuesday is going to feel justified.
Yeah,
well, there you go. Chris McBain. Cook is like a rabbit in headlights when opposition changes tactics. Wayne Till. What's frustrating is we just can't defend. At the start of the season, we were promised that we will have promotion. Ben, Lee mentions Raheem Harper. On that bench, you had Harper, you had Norwood, you had Edwards. You got game changers, real game changers. Not what you may think of Norwood as an individual, as a football player. He's very good at this level, but yet you just repeatedly, it's like when you've got the Rubik's Cube, you just smash it over and over and until you get the one you want, because that's going to work. Like a little child that doesn't quite understand how they move the cubes into place. That's us right now. Harper can't play as number 8, but well, it's 4-2-3-1. We'll keep smashing that Rubik's Cube until it eventually either works.
Yeah, it's got to work eventually. Yeah, absolutely. I don't even think it's a question of game changers and things. It's a question of when. Football is timing. It's always been about timing. You bring the right player on at the right time, you'll usually get a result. But it's happening too late. It's persisting too late. And every substitution I've seen him make is just too bloody late. We have got game changers, but you can't expect them to change a game with freaking 15 minutes to go. So it doesn't matter who you bring on.
It's not a game for Edwards today, is it? It wasn't an afternoon to bring Edwards on.
No.
It wasn't. We needed to cheer up at the back. That's fine. Let them battle. But where was the goals going to come from? From them, not them 40, 50-yard passes. You bring off a striker on. It doesn't have to be Norwood. It could be anybody. But just play 2 up top, put pressure on the back 4, sit in there a bit and play on the counter. I can see the point of Edwards coming on to try and play on the counter attack. But we didn't need that at that time. We needed people that were going to press the front. So when we did knock the ball out long, we had Norwood and Bond, someone to hold the ball up and then build from there. It just wasn't right to bring Edwards on. It was just the wrong time.
I think of this, right? We're going to go all out in January and try and convince Bond, who is in white hot form, to stay with us. And if we're still, pissing around 17th, 19th, well, why would he? Because as much as being a town boy, he's got a career to think of. We've got to sell that to him. And sometimes when you sell things to a player, as we know from what all the players have said, it's not just about what contract. It's a big part, but you're also selling the vision and where we're going to be. And if it's still, buggering around 18th, 19th, why would he stay? Why would he?
Absolutely. Sorry, Lee. We've
Sorry.
got a comment here from Joe. Maybe Cook's been found out by a manager that knows how he plays and grew up with him. Keep the faith. So was that the excuse for Cheltenham, MK Dons, AFC Wimbledon, Morecambe? That doesn't wash for me today. Curtis, I'll bring you back. You're all parked up. Hopefully the signal stays. Kurt, you were there. One shot on target you saw today.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, the excuses came out pre-game, didn't they? They came out. I mean, he's there saying, "Oh, I took my sides with Pompey there, and I took my sides here, there, and we've been beat." So he does play a good team. His excuses came out pre-game, so they were ready and firing up. Listen, that team that I saw out there, I don't see what positive someone can give me from that performance. I think I agree that in fact I actually do agree that Edwards needed to come on, because I think we lacked a bit of a kick. We needed a kick up the arse, and then unfortunately Edwards wasn't that kick up the arse that we actually needed. I don't know. I mean, I say the only positive was that I can get home in 5 minutes. I met Amy today, so that was fantastic. But no,
was she sober?
No.
No, to be fair to her, she certainly seems a lot more sober than a couple of the lads I met there. No, that was piss poor. I think Cook there, he got his tactics wrong. He got everything wrong in that game. I think we were very lucky, in fact, to be 1-0 up in that game. And then, I mean, everyone can point towards, the referee was a bit poor, but get used to it. We've been in League One now a couple of years. You know the standard of refereeing's been poor, so get used to it. Play to them. If it means you have to have a bit of a wrestle, if it means you have to fall on your arse and theatrically dive like all the rest of the teams do it. Because like there's no point trying to play tippy tappy football and passing your way around the fucking halfway point. Like there's no point. I mean, the amount of times I'd love to see a stat on how many times we passed back to Lackey today. I'd love to see a stat to see how many times we passed back to him, because it was piss poor, absolutely piss poor.
It's because they pressed us high, didn't they? They pressed us high. They made us go back. And if Lincoln would have done that, and I said in the chat before and stuff that Lincoln played the tactics all wrong. They just pressed us high. They let us have the ball at the back, and they let us come onto them. That's the wrong tactics. How to play Ipswich, how to play us is today. It's you play us like that. You put people high up the pitch. We don't want to play the ball through the middle of the park. On Tuesday night, when we're 2 or 3-0 up, those short balls will go into Morsey, from the back. We didn't play any of them today. Every time we got the ball, we lumped it back up with one striker.
No one was even chasing after the second balls. No one was chasing after.
You're right.
Like we every single second ball, we were so slow and lethargic. I mean, I still don't understand bringing Norwood on when you're 2-1 down, 10 minutes to go. I don't understand. I really don't understand it. And I refuse to believe that it's because he's not got an assistant. Because if 849 Ipswich fans in the away stand can see that someone needed to come on a lot earlier than 10 minutes to go, e.g. Norwood or, as you say there before, anyone to help Bon up front. If we can see it, how can him and his coaching staff not see that? It's
good question. It's a good question.
They've got as much experience of running a team and game management as we have. They've never done it. They've never done it before.
Yeah, I mean, if you just go back to Tuesday on the tactics, and I'm not sure that if Cook wants a number 2, that's down to him. That's always been my stance. But When we were on Tuesday night, we were 2-0 up, second half. They changed their shape, and then Cook was lauded for changing the shape as well, didn't he? He brought Fraser back into the midfield. Then he was a tactical genius Tuesday night, and now he's not a tactical genius. You know, so there's got to be a bit of balance there.
Well, the balance is, Lee, he was lauded a tactical genius because nobody had seen it yet. And this is the first time you'd seen it, so you were really hoping that was also a corner being turned in terms of his own in-game management. But as they say, one swallow does not make a summer. He's done it once. And we don't know if that was because of an injury and he wanted to protect. Maybe Selena bring him out wide into a lesser position. We don't know anything. But what we do know is this football club, after 10 games, is in the bottom half of the division. And that is just simply not good enough. And people are saying today, it's one game. Let's not lose our shit after one game. But it's 10 games.
People lost the shit after the 6-0. Why can't you lose your shit after 10 games?
It's true. It's true.
He's had 10 games now, and what are people going to start saying? Well, at least he won 6-0. Yeah, well, we'll say that at the end of the season when we're finishing about 17th. Well, do you remember that time when we thrashed bottom of the league Doncaster?
It's a great point.
Absolutely poor.
Good point as always.
It's a great point. I tell you what, Kurt, Lee, appreciate both of you. Safe journey,
guys.
Double change. First of all, I'm going to bring in Amy very quickly from. Take myself out of the stream. I'm going to put in Amy. There we go. It's all gone Pete Tong. Amy, then Cruncher, and then Colin. Amy, Ben, how are we?
About as professional as the whole game that we've just watched, Martin.
Oh no, it's into my head. What did you make of it both? Tell me, talk to me in your own words.
I am fucking freezing and absolutely drenched, and that was not worth a minute of it.
No.
First half, I just caught a little bit of what Kurt was saying, I think, but first half it just felt like a training game, and there was just no spark. There was nothing, and we said if we can just hit that spark, we'll be fine. And then second half, they just, to be fair to them, they stopped us playing. They absolutely stopped us playing. But from what we've been saying afterwards, as we've been saying you guys over a long time, no plan B, absolutely no plan B. And why he brought Norwood on with 10 minutes to go when he could have been the one to change the game is beyond me. It was nice to see Raheem Harper playing, but it just wasn't. That just wasn't what we needed. We needed something that was going to change the game, and he absolutely wasn't. Like Bond's goal first half came out of absolutely nowhere. I'd actually just said to Vicky, I need a wee, so I'm going down, and I just managed to catch the goal before going for a wee and a pint. Because we just had enough. We just there was nothing. It just didn't look like anything was going to happen that first half. And then the second half, they looked on top the whole time, and that's bloody ridiculous. Like as we've been saying, we won 6-0 on Tuesday. Where the fuck was that team today? I think the weather was awful, and that might have contributed to it. Like we were talking about the pitch here not being great, maybe that's added to it. But I honestly just think they stopped us playing, and they showed us that we need to stop being cocky and realise that actually you've got to work your fucking asses to get out of this league. You've got to work everything. You've got to work so hard, and you need to stop thinking that you deserve to win because we should have won today, and we just weren't good enough.
What Alex Matthews said, Amy, when he brought Norwood on, was this substitution is 10 minutes too late. Is that something you both subscribe to as well? That the sub was just too
absolutely,
late?
Absolutely. Apparently, Matthew said when he brought Norwood on, it was 10 minutes too late. Yeah, getting nods all around the table right now. Absolutely. Should have happened a long time ago. It's much earlier. Don't understand why he did the double sub that he did. Don't understand why it wasn't Norwood. Just ridiculous. No plan B, as always.
A lot of fans wanted to judge the team after 10 games. Well, as I said earlier in the show, 10 games have been played, 2 wins, 4 draws. What do you make of Paul Cook's first 10 games in charge?
I said to you before, didn't I? And I've been saying it all day. I was a bit worried that the last 3 games have been a bit of a purple patch, and today was a chance to prove that it wasn't. And we haven't proved anything. We've still got a bloody long way to go. I have very, very little faith in Cook. All of my worries about him have been proven today. I'm glad he kept the team as it was. We needed the consistency, but when we need a change against a team who played very differently to what Doncaster did on Tuesday, he just couldn't do anything about it. He didn't know what to do, and he was wrong. He was absolutely wrong in the choices he made today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do think it was down to him.
One before I let you go and enjoy that final Jaeger. Is there any shining light from? Is there any shining light from tonight? Is it maybe Macaulay Bonn, Haladki? Who was there? Anybody today that really played well?
Any positives from today, guys? I'm getting a lot of blank looks on. The only positive in my eyes is that I am swearing off Accrington away forever. I am never, ever, ever coming back here ever again. I'm done. I've paid my dues. I've had enough. But I have been really looking forward to Cambridge away. This was like my build up to it. I'm now really worried about driving 4 hours down south and coming to Cambridge away, ruining my night out.
Well, don't, because we'll all be there. We'll look after you. Amy,
True.
Ben, enjoy
It's
the
all
Jaeger.
about the day out.
Drink away the booze. Look after yourselves. We've got Facebook user. We'll go nowhere on the Paul Cook. No idea tactically. Get fucking shot of him now. Yes, I'm fuming. Insane. Town needs time to be a good and strong team. Who knows how long? Perhaps in a couple of decades. Lewis Knock. If we make the top 6 this season, I'd be over the moon. At the moment, it's not looking likely. 15th place finish if this carries on. Cruncher, 10 games. I'll judge Cook after 10 games, he cries. Well, what are you saying? Well, what are you saying now?
Not great, is
10
it?
games, Crunch, 10 games. Come on.
Outthought, beat up again by a team. They didn't play no football, did they?
Nope.
They knew how to beat us.
Yep.
Is it a surprise? We went to...
Oh, yes, yeah.
You know, we had Cheltenham. That was Cheltenham all over again, Martin, that game, second half. And it wasn't when, it was if, weren't it, the second goal was coming. I thought the goalkeeper should have saved it. It's gone straight through him. I'd like to see it again. You're going to struggle. I don't know who's doing your player
Callie,
ratings.
he's done it. I've not heard it yet, but he's done it. It's in my WhatsApp.
You're going to struggle tonight to name a man in a match out there, because I thought
Definitely.
hardly anyone is going to get above a 5 or a 6, are they? Not today.
This is an interesting comment, and one I take a bit of umbrage to. Difficult listening and following people moan one week, raving the next. It isn't my experience of speaking to fans each week. So what fucking fans are you speaking to then, quite frankly? Because this really is what fans are discussing.
That's football fans. That's football fans in general, isn't it?
Week.
Everyone's high as a kite when you win, and then they'll... Look, tonight, the weather is stinking, Martin. The performance matched the weather, didn't it? I'm not having Amy saying, oh, the weather. Hang on. It's the same for both teams.
Both teams.
Accrington coped with it, didn't they? The first half, was just a non-event, wasn't it? There was nothing happening. That game came out of the blue. And look, I don't mind if someone scores a decent goal against us, Martin. They were 2. Well, the second goal was probably well worked down the right-hand side, but I still thought the first goal, he's even mishit the cross, hasn't he, into the box?
Good old Andy.
To start with. It wasn't even...
I've been moaning solidly for 20 years.
But I did say, I can't remember, it was a couple of weeks ago, this could be a 2-year project, but the way we're going at the minute, the manager won't be here for 2 years. But you've said before, we've got everything at the club that we've ever wanted now. And I don't think it matters long term who's going to be the manager, because we will, in the end, look, people are downbeat tonight. In the end, we will get where we want to go. Will that be under Cook? At the minute, it's not looking great, is it? 10 points from 30, Martin. You go another 20 games. You go another 10 games, you go to 20 games, and say we've only got, say you repeat that, or you get like, say 13 from the next 10. You're going to have 23 points. And you've got a massive uphill struggle for the rest of the season to get anywhere, and we're only in October. Mm. But did that surprise you?
Rich, Rich, are you just taking it on this season, or are you going to continue?
You can't.
Last.
You can't. You can't. Paul Cook doesn't want you to. Doesn't want you to. He takes offence to it. You can't. You can't take last season.
Paul Cook's not on here at the moment, is he?
No, but hey, if you want, I don't make the rules. He does. He wants last season wiped from the memory. So those wins last year do not count. It's purely.
It's still not.
That's the way.
How many games is that? How many games is that now, Martin? Is that 28, 29 games?
Yeah, 28, 29.
Not got back to back. Not got back to back victories.
Nope.
Yeah,
I didn't think this. I didn't think the subs were wrong. I probably would have brought on Norwood, but the subs, when they come on, they have to have an effect to change the game, and they've done absolutely nothing. You know, Edwards didn't get in the. He had one good cross, didn't he? Edwards. Harper was just on the sort of fringes of the game. But you did it the nail on the head, I think, in the WhatsApp group. Our two fullbacks were shocking today. They give us absolutely zero. Look, Doncaster, we know what he is, but he gives you nothing going forward. They had nothing. Penny,
Well, that
Penny
second
was
goal
Penny
is
was average.
fullbacks. That second goal, Rich, is fullbacks to blame for everything. Penny doesn't stop the cross, doesn't even do enough to even try and stop the cross. It's the Nastian's man that scores the goal. It's poor all around, and it's a really difficult situation because you don't want to keep sacking managers. You don't want to go through change after change, but at some point, you have to say, I think Zaga Zombie says it sort of quite well. 10 games, 10 points, absolute joke. We were promised a promotion pushing season, not a transitional one. Don't forget, Edmonton himself yesterday in the press conference said when he met with Cook and Ashton, an okay season in League One was not enough for this football club. Well, at the moment, an okay season was looking like it might be a dream. No more backups or excuses from Cook and his coaches. They need to step up or be gone. At some point you have to judge it and you have to say it and you have to call it.
This season is bare minimum is playoffs. Bare minimum.
That's not happening. Replicate the first 10 games in the next 10. You ain't going to be anywhere near but a bottom 6 scrap.
Well, I put the tweet out in the week. You know, your average points is. I think Oxford last year was 74. Coxie. I think they got in 6th place. So you got another 64 points you've got to get from 36 games, you know, and the games are running out. And next week you've got Shrewsbury at home. But it's no good. Look, we've taken some steps forward. Today was a massive step backwards. Bolton was a really poor performance, Martin, but I thought today was probably as poor as we've been all season so far, all over the pitch. I didn't think there's anyone really come out with any credit from that game, you know. And Bon, good finish, you know, he took that well. But he was so isolated second half. He had two massive centre. He just kept lumping the ball, didn't we? Lumping the ball, and we got dragged into their way of playing, and that's what they wanted, you know. But you've got to go to these places. You've got to go to these places and dig in. You know, we weren't at our best today. You take a point sometimes away from home, and then you're back at home next week. You can't just have your home comforts, Martin, and beating these teams 6-0. They're doing a lap of honour around the pitch, playing bloody Neil Diamond, you know. Yeah, fair enough. Everyone's happy. That got the monkey off the back with a home win. But ultimately, we've come here today expecting a lot better. We've prepared really well. We come up on Thursday, and they were just poor, really poor.
I think you have to at least get for the foundation you've laid from Lincoln, Wednesday, and Doncaster. You've at least got to get a point today. And I take what you say there, Crunch, about a hard place to come. But now you're working yourself into a corner where you're going to have to go to hard places in this division and win to get anywhere near a playoff battle. Because
we've got
you're making it harder for yourselves.
You've got Shrewsbury next up at home. You'd expect 3 points. Anyone expects us to go to Cambridge and just roll that lot over? They were 2-0 down away from home today at Crewe. They got a point. And there's going to be probably a sellout crowd there. This is going to be one of their biggest games they've had at the Abbey. Well, it's not called the Abbey, but it is the Abbey as far as I'm concerned, for a long time. So anyone expects us to go there and for them to lay down and us to beat them, they won't. Then we go to Portsmouth. They've rolled Sunderland over 4-0 at home, you know. So there is no easy games. And I know Colin will be on next. Colin is ultra positive. I've told him before. I said to you the other night, if we're calling that a championship performance the other night, today was a fucking League Two performance.
Yep.
I'll give you that, Rich.
You know,
you did say that, yeah.
No beating around the bush. We seem as fans, we get all carried away, and Colin's saying, oh, look, if he's on, Martin, get him on, because I'd love to chat with him, because there's no good saying we've got the best squad in the division and all this. That on paper, yes. No good. You've got to perform week in, week out to get out of this division. And the way we're going at the minute, we ain't getting out of this league this season. And I'm a Cook fan. And you know I'm a Cook fan.
Yeah, and you have to perform at Accrington Stanley on a wet Saturday afternoon.
Exactly. You've got to dig in.
Sums up League One, yeah.
You do.
But we were told about Sam Morsey. Oh, you wouldn't get another Bolton performance. Well, what was today then? Well, I know we haven't got beaten 5-2. We haven't got beaten 5-2, but we've not laid a glove on them. We have not laid a glove on them all game.
Yeah, but I did tell you, if you felt Our only issue was a holding midfield player. You were in for a cold slap.
Oh, I know that. You know, I'm not stupid enough to think that one person's just going to fix your team.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, if you are watching this, over 200 people are watching it, and you do get value, do go to our Ko-Fi and donate a small amount of money to the cause. Keep the lights on and all that jazz. Make the afternoon worthwhile at the very least. Keeps the wife off.
Where's Ben gone? Where's the Milktray Man?
Oh, yeah, he had to go out. He's got things to do, people to see, places to go. He's got to go and scream into his pillow. Here he is. The man, the myth, the legend, the ultra positive, the man that will tell you all not to panic. We're going to
cheer us up, Colin. Come on, Colin. Cheer us up.
Plum. Colin, over to you.
All right. How are you? All right?
No, I'm not all right, actually. I've just watched my team
neither am I.
Listen to my team capitulate.
No, neither am I. Neither are Richard, neither's Coxie, neither's Ian, neither's Andy, neither's any Town fan, true Town fan at 5:30 on Saturday night. Now, I've just been listening to Rich, and I totally agree. I totally get where he's coming from. The only people, Rich knows what I'm going to say. I don't normally, I don't comment on games that I don't see. A lot of people do that. It's wrong. I respect people who either A, gone to the game, or B, have watched the game. Now, Rich has watched the game today, which I respect totally. Ian has watched the game today, which I totally respect completely. Okay? I've had a text from Ian, actually, while I was waiting to come on, and I wouldn't even dare repeat the words that came across his text, because I've got my little Alice here today, and I wouldn't even like to dare repeat the words that he put about that performance today. But what I will say about that, and what I will say about the respect I give to people who've watched the game, is that I totally get what Rich said. I absolutely totally get what Ian said, and it is something garbage. You know, and what Rich said about it not being, you know, the other night being the championship performance, and today being a second division performance, after I've heard exactly what Richard just said and read what Ian just texted me, I can only agree. I listened to excuse me. I listened to it today on the radio, which I absolutely detest doing. And I'm like you, Gov. I don't overly like. I don't overly like hardly anybody.
Anybody. Full stop.
I didn't mean. I don't really like any of the commentary people on there. Really, they're so, for me, a bit ZZ, bit boring. If the player's slow, the commentary is certainly slow as well. It kind of matches the play sometimes. But I don't know how we can go from what we did. I know we played the bottom of the table side. I get that. But I don't know how we played really well. You know, all right, okay. A lot of people might say we were allowed to, and I get that as well. But we played really well, and you know, there was a lot of positivity about all over the place, inside, outside the ground, and everything. Today, Rich is absolutely spot on. He's nailed it. That, you know, we've done everything right this week. We've gone up on the Thursday. We've gone and done everything right. We've gone up to the cliff at Manchester, and gone up on the Thursday, trained properly, gave ourselves time. Ain't like as if we're like I don't know, somebody like Crew Alexandra, and they're playing down at Plymouth, and they've got to travel on the same day of the game and leave about something like 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, that's awful preparation. Our preparation today for that particular game at Accrington Stanley was never going to be easy. Coxie was absolutely right. Stinking day, pouring down the rain, small pitch, drummer behind the goal, all a bit Berry Town. But you've got to, it's like any Premier League side going to second division side or even a non-league side in the FA Cup. You have got, somebody like Bobby would have said years ago, get it right in here. Or if we're going to Shrewsbury like we did, well, we beat them. But if you're going to like Shrewsbury at Gay Meadow in the FA Cup, get it right in here, or you go out of the FA Cup. Full stop. Okay? You get it wrong, you go out. Now, today, we've done everything right during the week, but I would question quite rightly what Rich and Ian are saying. Did we get it right in here?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
No.
And I think the important thing to think is Accrington Stanley made it a battle. They took it down. They stripped away that preparation. They stripped away the quality of the team. They made it a battle. And if you put it into boxing terms, Rich, like we did last week, Anthony Joshua's biggest criticism of him is if you take him the distance. Do not let him land a shot. Take him the distance because is his engine as big as it can be? Tyson Fury is a technical boxer. Try and knock him out. Ipswich Town, for all its technical ability, you want to make into a heavyweight slog of, can you hit me as hard as you can, or can I take you the distance? Because that's what you need to do with us. Just reduce it down to a battle. We lose Cheltenham and so forth.
Rich, this is like the...
Rich, do you know what really gets me? And I know it gets you. Me and you. Because I know you better than anybody. Right. What gets me, I wish Paul Cook, I hope I watch it, I hope Mark Ashton, I hope Mr. O'Leary listen to this. What gets people like me, yourself, Gov, people who go all over the country, not just a little jolly, but do it regularly and do it in the rain and do it in the snow, right? All over the years. What really gets me to my heart is when I get to the last couple of minutes of a game like that, I am really angry. I'm not disappointed. I'm angry. And I'll tell you why I'm angry, Rich, Gov, Coxie. I'm angry because I know from here, we are more than capable. I don't care whether it's a stinking day in the northwest. We are more than capable to go and do better at places like that, and especially if you've had the right preparation, which they had, which makes it doubly difficult for me to stomach, Rich.
But Colin, you've got to be more than a one-trick pony, and at the minute, that's all we're seeing that Paul Cook is, because. Sometimes, look, we all want to play great. For the other night, look, it was fantastic knocking the ball about scoring goals. Today, it wasn't that. It was a battle, and sometimes you got to change your system. Put another striker on. If you have to go longer, fair enough. Yeah, that's a game today, and if you're going to be a promotion team, like the game at Cheltenham, Martin, away, you might not be at your best. Don't lose them games. Dig in when it's hard. Come away with a point, and then you move on to the next home game. But like I said earlier, that was a case of when they were going to score the second goal, not if. We weren't surprised when they scored, but then we had nothing to come back at them, And to me, that's really poor.
Look at Wednesday, right? I said the post-game show on Saturday. I don't know how we've not won that. From Wednesday's perspective, you didn't lose it. You went away from home to a team that should be up there. You didn't play the best football you perhaps felt you should have done. But you didn't lose. Tonight, we've lost. Cheltenham, we've lost. MK Dons and Wimbledon capitulated, let's be honest. Every time we have to alter the plan.
Where's that running towards adversity that Mark Ashton used at the start of the season? And Cook, we'd be fitter than everybody. We'd be running longer. I didn't see that the last 20 minutes. When we're 2-1 down and you've got your backs up against the wall, you're away from home. It's a horrible day. You have got to pull that. Someone's got to grab hold of the game and say, right, I'm going to be the man today. I'm going to score the goal, or I'm going to make an assist. And we'll go away from here. We'll get back on the bus and we'll take a point. And we know we've not played well, but I didn't think they were going to score. As soon as it went 2-1, Martin, we might as well wrap it up then because we weren't coming back.
I don't know who Sega Zombie is, but he or she's having a fantastic afternoon with fantastic points. The systems and formations have to change within a game, especially in games like today away from home, and we are being bullied. Simon Wall, AJ got caught out last week because he couldn't change his tactics, just like Cook today. He stubbornly stuck to his plan and fouled.
But that's what he's always going to do. That is what he's always going to do.
Well,
they told us, didn't they?
NSYNC once sung, "Baby, bye bye, bye bye, baby."
See, the thing is, can I just say, the thing is, and people say, "Here we go again." Me and Rich, we have been pro Cook. Now, before very long, I know it's coming. Somebody, and quite rightly so. God, I'm not scared of it. Somebody's going to say, "Well, Colin, I'm putting a gun at your head. Is it stay or is it go?" And I don't know when somebody's going to ask me that question, but it ain't going to be very long, I don't suppose. But at the moment, I would stick with him personally. This is my personal opinion. How it is now, I've always wanted him to have the whole season. I think that's fair. I think that's just about fair. At the start of the season, at least give him the whole season. As we are right now, as you quite rightly pointed out a minute ago about his statistics over the 10-game period this season, and how those stats stack up right now, I personally think he might. I mean, I think he might be lucky to see the new year.
Oh, I did say 10 games. I can't remember what game it was after mine.
I'm saying he might be lucky to see the new year. He might be. Okay.
But the next 10 games, Colin, are massive because if we have another 10 games like we have now, the season's virtually over before Christmas, and it's another wasted season. It's going to be another wasted season. We were promised all these things. Look, the owners will probably be watching this show tonight. They're not going to be happy because did any of us sitting here think after 10 games a season, 30 points to play for, we'd be sitting on 10 points? No chance. No chance.
No. The issue I've got there, Crunch, is it might be a little bit premature, but it might be itchy feet. But you're 9 points outside the playoffs already. 9 points in this division when you can't string two decent performances together. Another 10 games. Forget the 10. Another 5, and it might be too much.
I mean, we've not had back-to-back wins. We're not back-to-back wins yet, Colin, and we're 9 points off. So if this continues for another 5 or 6 games, it's going to be 12, 13, 14 points. And then you're thinking, you're never going to make that up.
Yeah. Nope. I agree, Coxie. Another way to look at this, it's like today. Obviously, I had Gillette sort of Saturday on in the background, watching the results, like ticking in and that. And you had like Wickham 2-0 down, right? Then it went to 2-2. Then it went 3-2 down to our mates from Morecambe. And I said to Andy, I said, if they equalise, they win the game. And that is the God's honest truth. I think it was 94th minute. Had a look up. Wickham 4, Morecambe 3. Pulled it round and won it.
But you know what they are. You know what Wickham are, Colin. You know what Wickham are, and you know under Gareth Ainsworth, you know that a couple for the last few seasons they've scored late goals. They're always in the game. With us, it was too easy for Accrington. Them last 20 minutes, Martin. It really was. I know Norwood come on, but he struggled to get in a game. That was your substitution when you're 2-1 down. Just chuck another striker on and change it when you're still in the game, not chasing the game. And then he gets frustrated. Norwood gets his usual yellow card, and then the game gets bitty. They're going down. Morsey got tangled up, and then you're playing straight into Accrington's hands, aren't you? They're happy with stop-start free kicks, and it's frustrating because it is really frustrating. And look, I'm a big Cook fan, but the clock is ticking on him. It has to be. It has to tick on him. You can't keep going like this and saying, yeah, but we're still a new team. We're taking time to gel. It's like Matthew said on the radio. He still doesn't know his best team.
No. And
well, he needs to. He needs to.
The owners have given this football club a Formula One budget in League One, and we've been served up a Morris Minor. what is going on? Because the budget doesn't correlate with the results. The team on paper, and yes, the game is not on paper, but even if you just took it as a worst case scenario, you're still doing better than what you're doing right now. This is dog dirt. So poor.
I'll tell you what, I hate to keep Gov, I hate to keep harping on about it, but you talk about resilience, you talk about heart, you talk about decent players, you talk about a decent, if not a very good manager. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the perfect example, and Rich knows exactly what I'm going to say, Plymouth Argyle. People were kind of smiling at me about 5 or 6 weeks ago. I'll tell you, they are on some run at the minute, Plymouth. Yeah. They really are. They're ripping it right up at the minute. And I'll tell you that, is it Ryan Lowe, Rich?
Yeah, good manager. He's a good manager.
Tell you what, very, very good coach, him. Very good coach. And I'll tell you what, he's got that place buzzing at a minute.
Yeah.
He really has.
And some of the transfers this summer have been ridiculous. So I'm not even going to speculate as to who we should get, who could be available, because I don't know what ace in the hole the owners have got. Mark Ashton has got. This guy could talk the birds down from the trees. Honestly, if people were saying Wilder, Howe, blah, 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 that's ridiculous. I'd have said Burson Selina in League One was ridiculous, but I saw him play again today. I would have said Macaulay Bonne in League One on a loan was ridiculous, but again, he's on fire. Who knows what could happen? But the ultimate goal is playoffs. And right now, you're not looking like a top 10 side, let alone a playoff.
Yeah, but then people will say Oxford and they will say Blackpool, which is fair enough from last season, but that doesn't happen every season, Martin, you know?
No.
And why should that happen to us at the minute when the manager, he's been here 27, 28 games, he's not strung back-to-back wins together?
And
you're going to have to go 3 or... Yeah, I agree. He's got all the tools. He's got all the tools there, but at the minute we're not firing. You know, it's massively disappointing. But it's so Ipswich, isn't it? Let's be fair.
It sadly is, right?
It is.
It is. We're going to leave it there. Don't forget you can support us on Ko-Fi, links in the chat. Make the afternoon worth it. Colin, you're a true hero. Hopefully speak to you soon. Look after yourself.
Oh, mate.
Crunch, you're not with us tomorrow, but
no.
Enjoy your
I'm reffing. Another game reffing. Another game. Hopefully it won't be as Do you want me to quickly tell Coxie what happened today? Go on. So under 11s, Soham versus Sawston. Coxie, it's the big game in our league. 2 best teams at that. It was all going swimmingly. We were losing 1-0 into the last 5 minutes. Their forward's gone through, gone round the keeper. He's gone down. I've not given a penalty because I thought he's jumped over the goal. He didn't touch him. Oh, but the ball's out for a corner. He's down on the floor. He's hurt. So all of a sudden, their coach has come on, who I know, and he's a good lad. That's a fucking disgrace, Rich. It was his son in the end, so he was a bit emotional. Oh, right, yeah. Then his mum's come on. She's treated. I don't know why she's come on. Then our 2 managers and coaches have come on. Their coach, and then the linesman's come on, and the linesman and our assistant who's on crutches because he's had a knee operation. They're pushing and shoving each other. In the end, Coxie, I've sent three of them off. But after the game, Martin, they were all really sorry. And it's what is it in kids' football? Who's always to blame? It's always the parents or the coach, isn't it?
It always happens to you.
But all's well that ended well. But unfortunately, with Town today,
it didn't.
All was not well, and it didn't end well, did it? So
anyway, that right there, Rich, is the bit about youth football I do not miss.
But look, I know we're all disappointed. I know we're all disappointed today. We've lost the game of football, but let's put a massive shout out to Chris tomorrow running the London Marathon. You know, some things are more important than football, mine.
Yeah, and also Mrs. Phillips as well. Yeah.
I want to know why Matt is not there supporting her.
Because he is committed to the podcast on a Sunday afternoon. He's a loyal, committed person, unlike yourself.
Hang on. He's not on next Sunday though, is he?
No, it's her birthday, isn't it? You know, he's got to draw a line somewhere. Running a race, birthday, you know. But anyway, Crunch, I always say
double standards here, I think.
This stuff happens to only one man in the middle, and that is you. You lost control again today.
No.
You don't know what you're doing.
I didn't know. I did.
Not the first
chance. He didn't lose control. He sorted it out.
Coxie, you want to know? Martin hates audio messages, but he's hang on, what did you call me?
who's the wanker in the black.
Anyway, it was great.
Love you as always. Look after
Yeah,
yourself.
cheers.
I'm glad we could smile after this shit show. A few more comments as we round up. Dr. Zach King, all the best to you, Gov, Crunch, Coxie, Colin, Amy Curtis, onwards and upwards. Hey, Chris McBang, some great comments today, Chris. I was more optimistic about the Town this time last season, for fuck's sake. Duncan, rethink over the road ahead. Chris, best of luck for tomorrow, top man. And good luck, Chris, says Colin. Coxie, I won't ask you for a man of the match. I won't ask you for anything positive. Just your final thoughts as we head out of today's show. What are your final thoughts after today's game?
After today's game, I think quite simply is, again, we have more questions than answers.
More questions than answers. Absolutely spot on. We're back tomorrow, 1:30. Myself, Kate Riley, Matt Phillips, to try and give you some answers to those questions. If not, just more reaction, more live stuff from ourselves, more live links, live chat. This has been a Talking Town presentation, FCA finalist. That is the Bricktop, Mr. Peter Cox. I am the host, Martin the Governor Lambert. Support us through Ko-Fi. Good luck to Christopher and to Lizzie running the London Marathon, and to anybody else who's watching that knows anybody running the marathon. We're back tomorrow, 1:30, with love, with care. Enjoy your Saturday night. I'm off for several 100 away day beers. With love, with care.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.